Hello all, and welcome back to The Week in Timview, the show where I run down some of the highlights from my past week to hopefully make your day a little bit more interesting. So anyway, let's just jump into it. First up, some of the intricacies of Japan's incredible and incredibly expensive fruit industry, specifically some apples. Once again, from Sharla's channel, she made this really interesting video about why Japanese fruit is so expensive. First off, like pretty much everything else Japanese, just this incredible quality and attention to detail that you really just don't see anywhere else in the world, really. They mark off specific apples and they actually cover the outside in these very specially made paper bags. And this prevents the outside from getting marks and damage to keep it perfectly pristine. And then they actually mature the apples on the tree for longer than you might elsewhere. Then the apples are shipped to a sorting and packaging facility where a laser actually measures the sugar content inside of the apple. And in Japanese, there's this concept called mitsu, which literally translates to honey. In this context, it sort of means the extra sweet, tasty part of the apple. When you cut it open, you can actually visibly see how much mitsu is inside the apple, but they use these lasers to determine it from the outside so they don't have to cut open every single one of them. From there, every apple is categorized into exactly what tier they fall into, so they know how to properly package and sell them for the correct market rate. Like for instance, a box of 9 of them costs approximately $100. This varies according to where they're grown, where they come from, who sells them, who packages them, the different levels of quality that are available. There's a very wide range of prices for Japanese fruit, but in general, they are higher quality and more expensive than what you may typically find in your average, Western country. According to Sharla and her friend, they taste absolutely phenomenal, unlike any other apple you're likely to have ever had in your life. Sharla says they taste a bit more pear-like than actually the apple you're used to. I think she may mean Asian pears, but I've never tried it, so I can't really say for myself. But yeah, in case you were wondering, that's why Japanese fruit can be so exorbitantly expensive compared to what you're probably used to seeing at the grocery store. If you're interested in this, I totally recommend seeing the entire video on Sharla's channel. It's pretty fascinating, and you learn a lot about the Japanese fruit industry and a lot of stuff I had never known anything about before, just that they were really expensive. So give it a look. Next up, we go back to the LockPicking Lawyer, but this time not as a general recommendation. I wanted to talk about this very specific device called the ESPKey, which hackers and criminals and thieves could use to exploit certain wireless RFID enabled lock mechanisms. The way it works is it has these little leads on the back that you can easily plug wires right into. And then once you plug the wires into it, it will automatically capture any and all badges or key cards that are scanned into it, giving access to the attacker that has installed this device. And then the attacker from there can actually use the pre-recorded codes and send them directly to the lock from their phone, or they can even record them onto their own physical, RFID devices so that they can spoof the login and just easily get into any kind of high security area that uses any of these kinds of devices. I don't bring this up specifically so that you may use it or even that you may need to be aware of potential security vulnerabilities. I just wanted to highlight how crazy technology has gotten, how sophisticated these small little devices have become that hackers and criminals and thieves can use to get into previously thought of as high technology, highly secured locations. Pretty crazy what the other side will come out with once, the security companies come out with their versions of devices. And next up, this may seem a little bit odd, especially if you're not in the creative game or movie space, but Unreal Engine 5 has just dropped for public use and development, and this is a total game changer. I mean, just look at these graphics. Essentially what Unreal 5 engine does is it brings this level of graphical fidelity and development into the hands of essentially anybody who has a computer powerful enough to use it. So that means that we'll see indie titles with graphics, this good. And of course, AAA studios and movie studios and all of those guys will have access to the same exact thing. And one of the major things here is the way that it uses this new global illumination lighting. It's very similar to what you would expect from like an NVIDIA ray tracing RTX technology, but it's available essentially as long as you use this engine. And you can see how it dramatically changes the lighting of any environment, realistically mapping the way that it would, in your waking life, in reality. And then on top of that, as part of the included Unreal Engine assets, there's this team they've hired that has gone all around the world scanning in real world environments and objects, and like there are thousands of these assets that have almost lifelike fidelity to them that is now available to essentially anybody who can or wants to develop games or 3D movies or whatever it may be. And so we may not see the fruits of this for another 6 months, 1 year plus, but pretty soon we're going to start seeing probably a massive increase in the way that we, experience and think of the graphics of just your average ordinary games, even mobile games and movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So Unreal Engine 5 is a total game changer, and if you're interested in learning more about the specifics of it and what makes it so awesome, I definitely recommend this video. I mean, you may have seen it. YouTube has been recommending it to like everybody and has like millions of views, but it is very interesting and I think will totally change the landscape of game development moving forward. And I think that'll about wrap up all of the other external stuff I wanted to feature this week. And the last thing I wanted to do was my, sort of classic show feature. But for this week, the channel I'm featuring is actually my own, Tim Thoughts. Over the past few days, I've watched like almost all of my videos that I've published over the past, almost 2 years. And as a sort of impromptu retrospective, I just wanted to take a moment and sort of reflect on what I found. The first thing is that, I'm just honestly really pleased with the work that I've produced. I've talked about this before, but I have this sort of tendency to kind of get down on myself, and I start like equating the number of views I have with the quality of the content. But it really helps for me to go back and actually look at the videos that I've made, because that's not true at all. Some of my videos with, very few views, I think are excellent. And I guess that's just what I wanted to say. Like, the entire time that I've been on YouTube, I have always put quality and attention to detail. Like, those are the two utmost highest priority things that I focus on whenever I create any kind of video. Going back and looking at my old video essays, even the first few ones that I did, that actually really shows through, and they have aged really well because of that. I do think that the more recent video essays I've made are higher quality and, come across better, and the writing is better and the editing is better and all that. But I really do think that a lot of the older videos I made are still really good, and they really stand the test of time. And pretty much all of them, I think, you could watch without actually knowing anything about the context of what the video is about before you watch the video. Because also sort of a core philosophy I've had is I just want to feature a lot of things that I feel like more people should know about and more people should see. So, if that entices you at all and you happen to want to watch some of my older content, here are some of my favorites. The Forgotten Ghibli series. Every single one of these videos, I love them, and I think this was one of my best ideas ever. Also, my Evolution of Makoto Shinkai video. This video is phenomenal. I spent over 100 hours making this, and the quality just oozes out of every square inch of it, and I am so proud of this video. If you've never seen it, please watch it, because I think that perfectly embodies everything that I ever wanted to make in a video, and it really, stands the test of time so far. And then, I just have a lot of different videos on a whole bunch of different topics, so if you're so inclined, just kind of peruse through and see if anything catches your eye, because having just gone through my whole catalog, I can say that I really think that any video you watch will be good, and you'll gain something from it and hopefully learn something new. I made this post recently expressing that I really hope that, you're all taking care of yourselves, and self-care is so important. And just, be kind to yourself, because that's just one of the best things you can do. And over the past week, I've really been trying to take that idea and concept to heart, and just trying to be gentler and kinder with myself, and not so hard and put so much pressure on everything that I do and all the videos that I make and stuff like that. And I wanted to pass that idea onto you guys, and this little snippet of This Week in Timview was sort of my way of expressing that self-compassion and that self-care that I think is just so important. It's really easy in this day and age to always be bogged down by that capitalist mentality of like always needing to be productive and doing something, and if you're not doing something that's making money, then you're wasting your time. But just stop for a moment. Put that thought, in the background. Let it rest. Let it breathe. Take a breath yourself, and just be kind to yourself. Take that day off. Take that sick day. Go out with your family, with your friends. Go out by yourself. Go see a movie. Go eat your favorite lunch. Go eat your favorite dessert. Just watch your favorite show. Just kick back and relax and love yourself. That's so hard to do, and sometimes it feels like every fiber of your being is telling you, begging you to like do something more productive, go make more money, go work harder. But that's just a thought like any other, and just like a million thoughts a day that you quiet down and don't listen to, you can do the same to that thought. And that other thought, that wants you to just take a little break and, be a little bit kinder to yourself, you can listen to that one every once in a while. It's okay. If you need someone to tell you it's okay, here I am telling you it's okay. Even if you are me in the future, just take it easy on yourself once in a while. Take that break, take that vacation, take that sick day. No one else has to know. It's okay. It's okay to be nice to yourself and to take that little break that you desperately need sometimes. That's basically it. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. Just be nice and kind to yourself, because you deserve it. And sometimes you're the only one that can really do that in a meaningful way. But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for This Week in Timview. I hope that didn't come off as like lecture-y. I just want you to be kind to yourself, because I care about you, and you have some of the greatest capacity to really help your own self. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate your support, and I couldn't do it without you. So with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.